You're what?
That dust ball that reaches the corner that you can never reach.
So you're a dust bunny?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, that works.
That's a good mascot.
Yeah. You're the mascot then, the dust bunny of the submarine, and you are a screw Phillips or flathead.
More like an Allen wrench, so to screw.
An Allen wrench?
Oh, the worst kind.
One of those good IKEA submarines.
Yeah.
We built this ourselves. It only took an hour and a half. We were watching Ghostbusters 2 the entire time.
Exactly. And we had most of the pieces even.
Yeah, right. It's fine.
Yeah. Unfortunately, one of the outer doors is missing, but you know.
This wasn't supposed to be a submarine.
No. Yeah.
We also have one screw left over.
We have one screw left over. Well, just one. That's not bad, actually.
All right. So as you guys are finishing up, Faye, how did you answer your questions?
So, my name is Icy, and I'm the captain of our ship, and what upsets my superiors the most is that I'm only 7 years old. I'm a descendant of a legendary sea dragon, and it's in my blood.
What a weird place to live. Okay.
He does have to use the bathroom.
Nice. Awesome. All right, Jason, follow that. I'm sorry I didn't call on you, Frank.
Well, thanks to that, I had to change everything.
It's like, oh, I had that too.
I wanted to be 7. My name is Dorgan, and I don't remember half of my day because I might be drunk, but that's beside the way. My drives are alcohol, electrical therapy, and plasma. I can make it work.
Did you mean for yourself or for the vessel? Because I think yes, for the vessel, but I mean, I'm sort of cool with either.
See, the fun thing is, I'm part of the vessel.
I'll become the left door.
What is IKEA?
Top-notch Swedish. Alexander, what you got?
All right.
So my name's Jim McCrimmon, but you can call me Toothless Jim for short. I got my medical license from an unlicensed illegal street clinic. I was the second worst doctor working there out of 2, but thankfully my credentials look really authentic.
You know, if you want more, I can write them up for you.
Oh, that's great. What?
Alright, brother, so like, you know, my name is Sativa Moonrocks, and I guess I'm here because they said I have like, you know, like a severe marijuana addiction or whatever. Whatever, you know, it won't kill you. And they thought that, well, I mean, you know, the submarines underwater is a more chill job because it's like slower. You know, I guess that's why I'm here. I like navigating.
The best crew!
Yeah.
I have the same problem, but with heroin.
You want some weed to like take the edge off, bro? You want some weed, little girl?
I see me outside the ship.
Cool.
Is it a wood-paneled submarine?
I mean, it's IKEA.
How did you become the captain? Did they ask you? Never mind.
We're just really open-minded on this ship, man.
Now, for the record, if you have any problems with that stuff, everything can be solved with a drink. And maybe plasma cannons.
Yeah, dude, I love crossfading, man.
Thank you all for coming to our G-rated panel. And it's fine because it's being recorded. Officer. All right, so we're going to get into the rules of the game real quick. The rules of the game are Jenga. If you don't know how to play Jenga, I mean, Come on. You'll figure it out. So I'm gonna give you guys the opportunity real quick. As you can see, our Jenga tower is really good. If there are any adjustments that the four of you would like to make at the outset, you know, to maybe
Terrified of touching this thing.
fair. And this is your opportunity to maybe shore up the worst part. But if you don't want to do that, I mean, you know, the bar.
Willing to take the
wanna
risk.
try?
No. Willing to take the risk without.
Yeah, good.
Engineering something.
Does that work?
I mean, those are totally straight edges. That's right.
I love the fact that he forgot one side.
And it is in fact the most egregious side.
Look, it's almost falling down.
aren't we?
What is death really? Come on.
All right, so there's going to be one other thing that I'm going to need out of the four of you collectively, and that is a name for your doughty vessel. So what's your submarine called?
Future coffin.
Help!
Left shark.
Maybe just help.
All right, the USS Haupt.
Oh, I mean, that's
You
keeping
wanna
with the
follow
Swedish
internet
theme.
trend? It is Boney McBoneface.
It's too long.
That's not gonna fit on the sub. That's ridiculous.
Okay, if this is our song.
BBF.
Really fits on a sub.
What?
Or the water pipe. All right, were you guys pretty happy with the leaky pipe, or do you want to go with help?
Yeah, the USS Leaky Pipe.
Under
Pressure.
All right, under pressure. Okay, cool. The USS, the military, the American military vessel, under pressure. All right, so you're all commissioned officers from this, is what I'm hearing. You know, it's been bad times since we had to start conscripting 5-year-olds.
I'm 7.
Well, I'm saying you rose into captainship, so I mean, clearly you're a veteran at 7.
I'm qualified.
I believe-
Westerner Juana.
I believe in Captain. I trust in your abilities 100%.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so the crew of the USS Under Pressure is on absolutely their country's most important scavenging mission. The convenience of having the the general water level of the planet raised by about 37 feet is that there's way more underwater salvage. So, the four of you have just maneuvered your ship underwater through the sunken ruins of Atlanta. And you have found a derelict, abandoned other vessel down there. Something that on the side of the ship, you can see this hundreds of years old. We'll say it's a military vessel. You can see on the side of it, it says the USS Arbok.
Arbok?
Arbok.
Like the Pokemon.
Like the said, pronounced
Dude.
like the Pokemon.
Dude, whoever owned that ship was a total weeb.
Can I catch it?
Yeah, dude. Does Pokemon Go work under here?
Yeah, catch it.
All right, you heard the captain. We're gonna catch this ship.
Pokeball and torpedo number 2.
But the thing that has attracted your attention to this particular piece of salvage, as opposed to anything else in this derelict city, is that there's still some sort of signal emanating from it. So the four of you are on the bridge of your vessel. What do you guys want to do?
Make it so.
Dude, Captain, so we got like some blinky stuff coming from the ship. Like, I don't know, man, you wanna like check it out or?
Yeah.
What about you guys? What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
Does a Pokemon have to come in one piece, or can we have it come in many pieces?
What the hell is a Pokemon?
You just blew my mind, bro.
Okay, guys, we have to get that ship because it's our duty as the USS Under Pressure. We have to get it because we're scavenging and it looks really bright and it's shiny and I like shiny.
All right, Captain. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put like one of our subby light things like on that boat, and I'm gonna shine it and see if we can like look better with our eyes.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
All right, cool. I'm gonna do that.
You're gonna engineer it?
I guess. Yeah. I know what I'm doing.
Maybe I can help you with that.
Yeah, bro. Let's get in on this lighty light thing. Come on. All right, we tried to shine a spotlight or whatever on this thing to see better.
So, somehow, despite all of that, that was actually a really cogent, lucid idea. Well done. So yeah, absolutely. You guys have a number of little lights that swivel on the ship. You even have a couple of little drones that circle your ship. That have lighting
dude, the
effects
ship
to them.
is sweet. Dude, you guys ever watch Firefly? Like, yeah, this is like the Serenity, right? And I'm like totally washed.
It's actually like the sequence, but whatever.
Yeah, I forget what happened to him at the end, but I'm sure it's fine.
You are like hemp in the wind.
That series is why I started drinking.
So yeah, without too much trouble, you guys are able to, through a combination of the ship's resources and those that are on the drones, are able to sort of get it to the lights to scour the other vessel. You're able to pick out a few interesting things. First of all, the name of the ship very clearly right there. Arbok, a good Pokemon. You're able to see a few. They're essentially docking ports. You know, for two underwater vessels might want to dock with each other, they're little airlocks, effectively. But most interesting is something that you don't see. Despite the age of the ship, there's no real damage to it. There's no, explosively ruptured hull. There's no the plug taken out of the bottom of it. There's no IKEA logo. It seems fine.
Well, I get like this weird vibe off the ship, man. Like, like when you get a stone on the weekend, you're wearing like real nice clothes, and like you were gonna go out, but like you're just on your couch, so like when you wake up, you're still fresh.
No.
Yeah, dude, that's just what this ship is like. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. What?
It doesn't seem to be dinged at all, so
Yeah,
that's kind of weird.
That's a little weird, right? Maybe we should get like a little bit closer. What do you think, Captain?
I don't know. When I fought in Grenada, we ran across a similar situation. Turns out those filthy fucking Charlies behind me.
Oh, bro, whoa.
Any of you guys were at my panel yesterday?
You got like a lot of anger in you, old dude. Like,
That's all that keeps me alive.
A lot of that can be solved with a drink. But I will say,
Interesting proposition.
A recording for the internet, people.
that sub looks better than ours. Why don't we just take it?
dude.
The ship is also about probably 10 times the size of your vessel.
That ship is bigger than ours.
That's
Let's
right.
Get it.
That's messed up. We should have the bigger ship. We're the live ones. Yeah. All right. You want me to like bring us closer to it?
Yeah, you want to lead the way?
Yeah, I can try that. Okay. I'm gonna try to navigate the ship closer to the docking ports.
Okay. Again, as a navigator, an engineer, a seasoned professional, this
Yeah,
is not a
dude.
problem for you.
I know what I'm doing.
They've got a really good AI that just keeps really
What's the AI's name?
Oh, by the way, do we know what our drones do?
That's something that, anything that seems logical during the course of the game.
Okay.
Droney things.
Yeah, really, this is largely handled by the AI. Like, really,
Okay.
you guys are just here for insurance
Let's tell
purposes.
you what. While I'm navigating totally by myself the submarine because of my skills near this larger ship, I'm going to send those drones out to sort of like scout around the rest of the giant vessel to gather information.
Cool.
Information is sweet.
Wait, can we hold on to 4 of them so that they can transform and be our bodysuits?
Oh, dude.
You said anything!
That's large.
Voltron is
Oh no! What are
And he crashed the sub and we all died.
If that wasn't a permanent shit, I don't know what is.
Well,
The whole tower didn't collapse, being fair.
No, I mean, that was actually relatively modest, which makes me think that instead of, like, you know, killing all 4 of you, so you're piloting the ship a little closer to it.
oh, sweet.
And you're doing a fine job of doing it.
Yeah.
And it would be almost perfect that you saddle right up to the side of the other vessel.
Doing pretty good.
Nice.
If in doing so you didn't crush all but one of your drones.
You know, they didn't do anything up to this point anyway. It was fine.
I'm gonna need you to pee into this cup.
I love peeing into cups, bro. How'd you know? And I do it.
That's going to take a poll.
Okay.
Excuse me.
No, you're
Wait.
I was ready.
What's your name?
Oh, Sativa Moon Rocks.
Sativa Moonrock.
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed in you.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry, man.
But I'm really happy that we're alive, so it's okay.
Oh, I love how you brought that back around at the end.
I think you're on timeout.
Oh man, we still got one drone. Let's name it so we like it's special.
Yeah, let's get attached to it. Yeah, let's do that. That's good. Give me a name.
You guys should name it.
Yeah. Let's ask the internet really quick on our phones. Hey Twitter, what should we name this like one drone we got left?
Droney McDroneface.
Droney McDroneface, dude. Someone said that real quick. I'm gonna like that comment.
Nice.
Alright, Droney McDroneface it is.
Johnny McDonald.
I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget.
I'm gonna play the drone. Blurb, blurb, blurb. Blurb, blurb, blurb.
That's pretty
Scanners
authentic.
or something we can
Blurb.
scan to see where the electricity's coming
Yeah,
from?
yeah, that's a good idea. Can we use Droney McDroneface to like scan where that little beepy thing's coming from?
So the drone, not so much, but the ship itself does have the power to do
Oh,
sweeps
sweet.
like that. So you guys can right there from the bridge try to hone in on it.
Yeah, whose job is that? Is
Can
that?
it get us a map?
Maybe. That is something that probably would require the drone. So, I mean, maybe while we have the drone doing a sweep of the larger ship and trying to get some sort of, like, you know, general schematic of it, we can be back on the bridge trying to hone in on
Yeah, dude.
the other signal.
All right, well, I did my fantastic part. It's up to like one of you now to do some stuff.
So, who wants to hone in on the signal?
I will hit the button.
Okay, so you, as a talented, skilled, veteran engineer who makes good choices, you're going to try to hone in on this faint signal emanating from this derelict ship
Well, okay, our engineering's that way. The ship's head is that way. That means that their engineering should be that way. Power has to go from somewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
I'm right to believe, dude.
Yeah, irrefutable. Okay, so
Yeah, we got this guy. Right? We're fine.
Take a left. That's escape.
Do we see any valuables anywhere from that scan?
So it's going to take the drone a few minutes to go over the whole ship and pull up as much of a schematic, as much of a reading as it can. But there's still that faint signal that's emanating from on board, which is registering on you guys' communications. It's faint, and right now it's only coming through as like a little static blip, but there's definitely something there. Somebody with some skill might be able to, bring that up, make that a little more, boost that signal. Do any of you have any?
Let's figure out what that beepy thing is.
Yeah, man. You think you can use your medical science to do
I can perform surgery on any machine.
Man, dude, I trust this guy.
Let's do it.
I take a scalpel to it.
Okay.
That sounds like a brilliant plan.
I fix worse.
All right. So the good news is that your scaffold is metal, as is the instrument that you're attempting to use it on. So the amount of damage that you do to your nice military vessel is minimal.
Rock and roll.
Also in the background, the AI of the much suffering AI of the ship seems to get a general sense of what you're trying to do, though it needs a little bit of assistance there. If you would like to, through your veteran menstruations, if you'd like to bring up this signal, it will require a pull.
Oh boy, oh boy.
I believe in you, brother. Like, just do it,
Oh yeah, the obvious one. Take the obvious one.
Yeah.
I'm a coward. What can I say?
Don't clap too hard, man.
Best doctor in the world.
Not a total death trap? I don't know what you guys are worried about. But it's a game for babies. It's plucked. So, you're able to, against all odds, turn up the volume. And in doing so, you're able to pick out a little more from this signal. So, there's still a good deal of static and whatnot, but over the course of the signal as it plays, you get that it's a message that seems to be on repeat. Going through, all you can really hear is trapped, supplies, research, PFC, King. And then it statics out, and about 20 seconds later, it repeats.
Guys, I think somebody needs help.
It was trapped, supplies, research. What else?
PFC King.
PFC.
I love eating at PFCs. I could totally go for some orange sugar right now. That's perfect. All right, well, I guess, they're looking for help or some stuff, dudes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mine's like steel traps.
We know how to get there on the map.
Do we have the map yet?
So, in about the amount of time that it takes you guys to listen to that 30 or 40 times, the pings come back from the drone, and yeah, you're able to get a pretty general gist of the layout of the ship. Which you'll see in this elaborate animation that we have playing right up here. There's no animation. Oh.
You tricked me!
This is a tabletop game, people. Come on. So, the ship in general is 3 sections. There's a general, it seems to be almost an industrial bay level towards the bottom. In the rear of the ship, there is engineering. And then the middle of the ship seems to be more dedicated to crew quarters and operations and whatnot. So now that I've said there's 3 sections, there's clearly 4.
You can take it over from there, most of the back.
You also note that from what you saw with the airlocks, those seem to be abutting the lowest quarter of it, which is that more industrial loading storage sort of area.
Both of them?
Yes.
I'm social mediaing all of this, by the way.
Nice. Good. The social media of the future.
That's right. Future Twitter, check out this giant ship, guys. We just got the map. You guys think we should go inside? There's only 4 of us. What could go wrong?
I should go into the ship. That wouldn't be a game.
You guys think it's weird they just sent like 4 people down here? Doesn't like a submarine usually have like a bigger crew? Does that freak anyone else out?
He knows too much! Kill him!
Oh yeah, you're probably right. Alright, well, I mean...
Did I not mention that the AI is the spirit of your great-grandfather?
That is the spirit of my great-grandma.
Oh, it must be so cool to work with family.
The water dragon that inhabits our crappy submarine.
So we're docked already with the thing, or?
Oh, my no.
Oh, okay.
No. You just got really close to it. You crushed it. I mean, you maybe created a little bridge out of like the shattered remains of your
That's
drone.
right, all according to plan.
Hardly airtight. But you are relatively close, and your ship does have, because it is, it's a state-of-the-art tiny future crappy submarine. It does have sort of a docking arm that creates a little umbilical tube that could maybe reach out to it. However, that is somewhat of a tricky docking maneuver.
Oh, hey, it's all right. I got like pretty good navigation skills. I did this so far.
Can we retrieve the parts of the drones that were destroyed?
You know what? With the remaining drone that you have, and I mean it's underwater, so you can't see it crying. But yes, it may pull back the bodies of its friends and family.
Hey,
sure.
Droney McDroneface, good job on the map. Now get like your dead family members out. No, they knew what the job was.
Droney McDroneface, please return the carcasses of your dead family members because I think that they could still be repurposed.
Just hear Evanescence start playing over the top.
So the spirit of your great aunt, Droney McDroneface, starts to pull back the robot corpses of your other ancestors.
It's okay, I can fix them.
This happens all the time.
Return them to life.
Did you fix the map? I saw you do it. You could do it.
I mean,
Anything can be solved with a scalpel.
It's a drink, but you're close.
I'll fight you. Scalpel versus drink. Let's see who wins.
So I tell you to continue to cut right on that metal piece there again. And,
Okay.
As he tries to maneuver the ship closer, if he tries to get to that, I'm just gonna, after the drone is, I'm gonna compensate here as engineering and be like, yeah, I'm gonna fix that.
Okay, so your intent is to repair the drones or to ease in the docking? Or something else?
We can do both.
I was gonna say, my character's drunk, you probably do both.
Have the little drone arms piloting.
Well, I'll be using the drone arms for the actual.
All right, well, I'm gonna attempt to dock this thing.
Okay.
Here we go. Do I pull out?
It will take a pull.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Oh crap.
Just get closer to this.
Oh no, why? No, that's good. Oh yeah, and by the way, if it falls over as a result of the table being knocked over, yeah, you're still dead.
Adjusting. Adjusting.
Yeah, perfect.
Nice.
There we go.
Oh, did I mention that as part of Jenga, like what you pull out has to go back on top?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It was the head on it.
Well, you first.
See, it's fine. An easy game for kids.
It's all on you, KG. It's all on you.
Nice. Dread, a game for ages 3 and up. All right, so with shockingly few problems and no further destruction of robots or ancestors, you're able to cause the umbilical attachment of the ship to snake out and lamprey onto the Arbok.
Yeah, dude, I did the thing, guys.
You got a cookie.
Yeah. There's cookies.
See the back drawer of the oven.
All right, I get a cookie.
Of the drone.
Wait, you're repurposing the drones for cookies?
What else do you want me to make out of it?
Captain, like, how should we proceed? Like, should we, like, just, like, get in there, or?
Well, do we think there's any life in there? What did the drones see?
Well, they were like, help, like, we got supplies and P.F. Chang's and, like, well, like, I think they need some help because, like, P.F. Chang's gets old pretty quick, so.
But no, the drones have detected no life forms over there. It seems like no life support is currently running. It seems like everything's pretty cold.
Okay, I pick up a gun much bigger than myself and say, we should probably arm ourselves before we go in there, just in case.
Could you tell us a little bit about your gun?
Oh, it's a pulse fire gun.
It's one of my favorite creations.
Or not?
So, as a gun that is 3 times the size of a 7-year-old, do you think that, actually, you know what, let me ask the audience. Would a gun 3 times the size of a 7-year-old be able to puncture the hull of an ancient sunken vessel if it were to miss?
Yes.
Seems like a pretty emphatic yes. So, you know, just trivia, a note, keep in mind.
I'm well trained.
Absolutely.
And now you know.
7 years.
Can I like pick up a flamethrower?
Yes.
We always gotta have a flamethrower.
You know, underwater.
Yeah, dude. It
One
makes
of the-
total sense. It cancels each other out. I play Pokemon.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Chewy.
Like this vest filled with scalpels. Glowing scalpels.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Well equipped.
I got a backpack, 2 metal prongs. Get close enough, electrical shocks come from it.
Okay. Cool.
That just seems like overcompensation.
Again,
think we're gonna
underwater.
I have to jumpstart the ship.
Oh, right.
Yeah, who's overcompensating?
Not you.
That's right. Let's go.
Wait.
Okay.
There's no life support. Don't we need something to breathe?
Can't we breathe?
We have lungs, idiot.
Yeah, man, you got a thing, bro.
You might have a point there.
Do we though have like environmental suits or whatever?
That seems like a good idea. Tell me a little bit about the environmental suits you should have.
They all come with rocket launchers attached.
They make us invulnerable.
They're made of this future titanium that can be pierced by nothing.
Okay.
And they got magnetic feet, so if we need to stick to the floor and move a little bit slower because of whatever thing, yes.
Basically, we're all Iron Man.
Okay, you're able to have those. I mean, they don't move or anything. They look great, though. They're really intimidating.
Decoration purposes.
Yeah. But, you know,
our entire budget on.
Right?
Can we have Mario Frog suits?
Seems pretty strong.
I think our captain trade out our suits for these. You get to be the raccoon.
I'm so pumped.
Poor blue bloated raccoon.
I want to put on my raccoon environmental suit.
I do like the idea that they're all animal themed. Yeah, let's go with that.
Can they at least, have oxygen supply if they can't be invulnerable?
Yeah, they work great.
All right, cool.
All right, so we've got the raccoon.
Yeah, let's do the raccoon.
A water animal, the raccoon, a frog animal, a frog.
I'm a rhinoceros now.
The most buoyant animal on the planet. Look it up.
I'm the drinker, so I get the frog.
All right.
Cool.
I shall be the mighty giraffe.
I think we're
Strong. It's pretty much like a snorkel.
Reaches all the way to the surface.
I mean, it's an older design, but it works.
We gotta take part of the periscope out of it to make it work.
It'll be alright.
Yeah. I can't see, I'm gonna be honest.
I like the idea that all three of them are able to navigate the umbilicus tube that goes over the mess, but you have to like walk very
I won the limbo championship in my senior's home.
Okay, so armed, outfitted. What are you guys doing?
Well, let's get in this thing, man.
We need to save that guy from PFJ.
Yeah, dude. You see a lot of people from PFJ. So like we got like a bunch of equipment and stuff. Like he's got like some engineering stuff. I've got a raccoon suit. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're ready.
Okay, nice. So the four of you load into the tunnel.
Watch your head
over there.
Oh, it's okay, I got this. Oh crap, it's stuck. Hang on.
Dude.
I freaking love this game.
Not as well as could have been expected in that situation.
Yeah, keep joking. It's a horror game.
We're keeping the stakes high.
Timothy, get your glasses.
No. You don't tell me how to live my life.
You only got a year left.
That's irrelevant.
They've been married
How's it
for
in
40
fresh
years.
diapers? What are you gonna do?
Okay, what do we see in this room?
Okay, so you guys head across the tube with minor trouble. Somewhat predictable. You're used to it.
Power
and you-
Rangers.
Yeah, just like that.
And you get over to what is the outside of the vessel. And this is an airlock. There's a little panel that's covered here. It's got a variety of numbers and symbols and whatnot, but it seems to be the controls for the airlock here. What you guys want to do?
I put 420 in.
It opens right up.
People are my people!
I figured that would work.
So on the inside,
Adult stuff.
on the inside, you step into the inner chamber of this airlock. And the interior of the vessel is completely waterlogged, drifting by just on the, in the stagnant water are just the, maybe stray tools, bits of old uniforms and whatnot, some general debris. But that's all you see so far. On the opposite side is an almost identical door.
Huh.
But this is just the airlock right now.
Do we see anything useful floating by? You said mentioned there could be tools or all that stuff. In our vast expertise.
There's what looks like maybe a repair kit busted open at some point here. So there's a few waterlogged flares, hammer.
Dude, Drinky bro, that looks like you could use that.
I could get them working.
Yeah, dude.
Perhaps the most valuable thing that you see is a still sealed, unopened bottle of super glue. Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be great for engineering stuff.
Let's take it.
I made the suits with this.
Oh yeah, dude, it feels like it. Oh, that's another reason.
I look around to see if there's anything broken, like obviously broken.
Not that's obvious. I mean,
Like
you know.
someone broke open a candy, like someone could have broke something.
Just my spirit.
So the only exit to this room, aside from where we came from, is that door over there.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just go in the next room, guys.
Yeah. If we don't
Just
see anything
go
else in
here.
here aside from the glue, I think we should proceed.
I'll take this and these.
Okay, so without any trouble, you're able to pass through the room, hit a pretty familiar series of buttons. The door opens up and into a lengthy hallway, which looks like it runs from stem to stern of the ship. You can't see all that direction because it's relatively dark, being that you're reliant on the light up eyes of your suits.
My
sort of
raccoon eyes.
sort of inconvenient for yours since they're.
Oh man, it's like over everything.
These are the high beams.
Yeah. High beam.
Jokes. So yes, this corridor seems to run from the front of the ship towards the end, where is the engineering.
I look up. Is there like lights that are not working that are lined?
There are lights that are not working running through the ship. You can also see that the ship, for its day, was probably relatively high tech. There are a number of glossy black panels on the walls, but they are all powered down.
Is there a data conduit nearby?
You can probably find one without too much trouble, or even if you couldn't, you could probably take one of these panels down and access something, but it would take a pull.
Oh, dude, are you gonna do some engineering stuff?
Yeah, like I got these things that create like charge electricity. Yeah. If I wire them to the positive and negative, we can line the lights through this place.
Oh, dude, I don't know what any of that means, but that sounds awesome, bro. Yeah.
Science! And super glue.
Yeah, dude, try it out. I'm down.
Okay.
I'll stand over here and watch you.
How do they keep coming up with actually lucid ideas?
Okay, don't screw up.
Okay, that ain't happening.
No, that's the good one. You should do that one.
Oh no. I see some sparks, bro. You might want to go to another panel. I don't know.
I know how this works.
Oh, dude. Now you got to close the panel. Closing good though. Oh.
I don't know why
you're not done.
No, dude, it's good. Don't go back to fix it.
What the hell are you doing?
I already had like
I
3
have
heart
to
attacks.
add this super glue.
What? Okay, cool. I believe that you know what you're doing.
He's thinking ahead. You are not a true gamer.
I need alcohol.
I don't know why you all are still using dice in your game. All right, so without too much trouble, you're able to pop one of these panels off the wall, find a few conduits in there. They look like maybe, electricity. You attach your that right onto the other thing. And while this is not really how any sort of engineering works, the jar to the system is enough for the panels up and down this hall for it to bring a charge to them and cause them all to power on. So all of a sudden, you guys have access to essentially the access and display terminals for this section of the ship.
Oh, nice, bro. You did it.
We went to the same school.
Oh, nice.
Did you both get A's in science?
Wait, we got grades?
I don't remember most of it, I'll be honest with you.
Does the display show us any new information that we don't know yet?
what you're able to get is a much clearer readout of the general shape of the ship, where things are. You guys are indeed in the sort of the storage section of the ship. Being the lower bays, these primarily connect with the engineering section at the back of the ship. The engineering section has been almost entirely, all of the power to it has been put at, not off, but the most minimal levels.
How's life support looking on this vessel?
It is something that has been powered off, but it seems that from, not from one of these panels, but from engineering, you could bring up almost every facility of the ship from there.
Could we get a more clear message from the recording that was being bleeped out?
Oh yeah, good thinking, engineering guy. Yeah.
You absolutely could from the communications panels of the ship. Where those are, potentially some are in engineering, but it's probably more likely for them to be in the bridge. So yes, but with that caveat.
Your people's my people.
Yeah, dude, I like that. So like, obviously we need to like split up into 2 smaller groups.
It seems always a good idea.
Right? It's like that logic thing.
The party.
That's
2 jobs, 2 teams to take care of it.
Right?
Oh my God, that's the first time I've done math in years.
I don't have a weapon. I'm going to Captain. Good luck.
Okay.
Good idea. We're gonna split up into 2 groups. I'm the captain, so I'm going this way now.
All right, man. You guys go that way. We're gonna go this way. It's gonna be fine.
Which way is engineering? Which way is in this scenario? Which way is the front? Which is the back?
I'm just kidding. I think we should stick together.
Oh, okay. Well, the captain says we're just.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, let's listen to the 7-year-old.
Unfortunately, the layout of the ship backs up the captain. Most of this, the bridge is actually not connected to this level. So you could split up once you reach the engineering section, but at the very least, you're walking the same way for now.
Nice, nice.
Captain was thinking ahead.
Yeah, dude. That's why you're the captain.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, let's go to like engineering or something. See what's there and stuff.
Who the hell designed this ship?
Can you find the communications area?
Yeah, it's probably like up ahead.
Don't we want to turn on the air first?
That's probably up ahead too.
I don't think
bro.
we can talk unless we breathe.
How have we been talking right now?
I'm wearing a raccoon suit.
Yeah, then we're fine.
Yeah, I got the ribbon.
All right. So like, all right, start to make our way down this the hallway and stuff.
All right, so without too much trouble, the 4 of you are able to navigate this sunken vessel. Every now and then, something does sort of come out of the haze, the darkness, the bubbles that are just up ahead of you, and it's usually just like, you know, maybe a piece of scrap or like some broken off bit of metal or other more buoyant substance just floating through this weird underwater haze. But over time, probably takes about 10 minutes, the 4 of you are able to get down to a pretty serious bulkhead, a sizable door that is clearly labeled engineering. It is closed at the moment though, and there is a panel next to it.
You guys don't think 420 is gonna work on this one? What do you think?
It's a Navy ship, probably.
You notice that it's also, as you get a little closer, you guys do notice that it is open, but only about that much.
Can we see anything peeking through it?
Peeking through, you're able to shine your light through, and you can see that the engineering part of the ship seems to go up multiple stories. It seems to run much of the back of the vessel. There's what looks essentially like scaffolding and metal stairways that go up around a pretty significant looking but quiet engine. This is an engine like you've never seen before. It goes, like I said, it goes up for multiple stories, and it currently looks powered down. But certainly from your engineering experience, this is This is not something that you've seen before in even the most modern ships, and certainly not something that seems like it should have existed 30 or 40 years ago.
So I grabbed the super glue, and I also grabbed a couple of the torches, even though I haven't got them to work yet because I haven't had time to mess with it.
Sure.
My question is there like any cloth, any type of cloth around?
You can probably find something waterlogged, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna utilize that. I'm gonna put super glue on the buttons, and I'm going to use the cloth and tear it up and see which ones are the most used fingerprints.
Yeah, okay. That's gonna take 2 pulls.
It was nice doing this with you guys.
Seems like a pretty complicated plan, bro. I'm behind you.
You can totally do it. I mean, you're that good, right?
You said the door was open,
Yep.
so does it need a code, or can we just push it open more?
Yeah, have we just tried pushing it?
Can we just use it?
You guys can give it a shot.
Is there like an iron pipe somewhere where we can try to use leverage to just kind of pry it open?
Or we could use my rhinoceros horn.
Or we can use her rhinoceros horn.
Captain's all yours.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
Okay.
I mean, as is procedure.
Guys, I'm gonna lead the way. I'm gonna put my rhinoceros horn in.
Get it, Captain.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
It's part of the hand guide. It's written in crayon, but it's here.
I read the memos.
The military's changed a lot.
Upgraded.
All right, so you're gonna try and do this, but it will take a pull.
Okay. Can I delegate this? My arms are too short.
You can feel free to come around, or maybe if you want, just kick the stage a few times. Get the job done.
I think that's a good one.
Use your gamer hands, Faye.
All right, everybody, hold your breath. Everybody, hold your breath.
Come around.
This is too hard.
Okay, wait till she gets there. No, let it go. Okay, now.
Stop shaking.
No one moved.
Stop shaking.
Okay.
We haven't taken any from the sides.
Pressure. Who put the heartbeat
I know,
on?
that was awesome. For a second, it's like,
So true story, it's easiest to pull from this side since it's leaning that way.
it's fine.
But
That's gonna bite us in the.
Working as intended.
Okay.
So without any problem, you're able to do a little 5-step run right up to it, and then just completely rhinoceros the door open.
I'm like, you're pretty buff for a 7-year-old. Must be all that dragon. Yeah.
A dragon rhinoceros? That's a frightening thought.
Yeah, dude, it's like, I'm pretty sure it was from Greece or whatever.
So, the 4 of you have access to this multi-story engine room now. Floating throughout the darkness here is even more debris, some of which seem to be bits and pieces of panels, more equipment, just things that are much larger in size that have been left to float in this bogged miasma.
Miasma?
It's true. Look it up.
Okay.
All right. Wow. What?
This is not home.
You literally live here?
You send this in?
Oh my god, are you okay?
The problem has been solved. We can leave now.
Good mission.
So where are the exits in this room now?
So the only exit that you see on this level is the door that you came through. However, you can see farther up are multiple other platforms. 2 or 3 floors up seems to be the central core of both the engine, but also a much more high-tech looking platform that seems, if you know, the dregs of the working staff are down here. This seems to be where more like the head engineers and whatnot.
Oh, dude, this ship is classist.
It's true. That's why it didn't work.
Man down capitalism.
Does this ship like make sense at all to someone who knows engineering?
To somebody who knows as much engineering as you do, or
yeah, as much as I do.
Doesn't make a lot of sense to you, no?
Is there a clear way to get up to the techie platform?
Yes, there are these scaffoldings with these metal stairs that go up, that sort of circle spirally around the engine core.
And they're perfectly intact?
Oh my, no.
I say we send the kid.
Yeah,
Captain, it's all you.
I can do it. Hold my gun.
Oh, I wanted it.
Look at all that you have. Can't save for something.
Okay, so then I go and I hop up the steps.
Okay. For you, it is actually no problem to just skip right up the stairs. Now, as she's doing this, the three of you down on the bottom level can see that the thing slightly shakes. A stair or two gives way as she bounds from one to the other, perhaps the most indelicate way possible. But not only do you get there, but you end up looking fucking adorable doing it.
That's our captain, man.
Well, we just went from PG-13 because we got the second swear word.
Surely she is the best of us. What do you see up there, Captain?
What do I see up here?
So with looking around, you can see that there's a number of terminals and whatnot. All of these seem to be powered down, with the exception of one that has a faint blue light emanating from it.
I see blue.
Oh,
That's good. That means it's alive.
There's a bunch of pianos up here, and there's just one that's blue, and I'm gonna touch it.
yeah, dude, that seems like a good idea. Poke it.
You go right up to the panel, and it is already on a question prompt. It says reboot systems, yes, no.
Oh, dude.
Guys, I need to reboot the system. How do I? Can you teach me? Just yell it. It's okay.
AC/DC and everything is false.
ACDC. What?
That's how I got my degree.
It said yes and no.
Trying to clarify.
Try one of the letters.
I mean, it is Y/N, so I mean, that might be confusing.
Should I press Y or N?
Try whatever's first.
Can you ask social media?
Oh, dude, guys, Y/N. Which one do you guys? With no context. Y/N, bros. Like which one?
Always wise.
Is everyone saying Y? We got like two no's.
A lot of answers that you don't
But like the two N's look like they're from really smart people, so I don't know.
And the rest of them seem to be asking us why.
Like I'm looking at the other accounts of the Y's, and they're talking about like waifus and stuff, so I'm not sure like.
Before he finishes saying the rest of it, I hit the Y.
So, a current goes throughout the entirety of the ship, and all around you, panels start just blinking back to life around you guys on the bottom floor as well. And in fact, around your feet, a number of previously unnoticed vents start sucking water out of the chamber. The water level begins decreasing in the engine bay here, and it hits your level first since you're further up, and without too much trouble or anything like that.
Nice, Captain, you did it, yeah!
Does that mean we get a raise?
Oh, you get paid.
For you guys, however, there's a definite clanking sound that you can hear is building as the water level, with all of this detritus, with all of these bits of tools, floating panels, and so on. As the water's coming down, so are those things falling down this like now rickety stairwell and scaffolding toward the three of you. What do you guys want to do?
under pressure.
I vote bail.
Okay, so you guys start moving back toward the hallway there. So the nice thing is that as part of the reset, all of the doors also seem to reset. So whatever was holding that door somewhat open does a quick like open-close thing. So this thing moves behind you. You can see that the door seems to, go back to its standard position. So it opens real quick and then closes. So you guys have that to deal with. But that also happens on your level. The only thing is that when it opens, a silhouette steps through toward you. What do you guys do on the first floor?
So we don't see that.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
And we can't.
Now, is the door continuously opening and closing?
Nope, it's just a one-time thing, and now it's closed in front of you again.
Is it resealed or can we?
It's resealed.
Well, die honorably?
Just try to open the door, bro.
Oh, okay, I didn't think of that. Yeah, open the door.
Okay, so you're just going to like hit the panel there? You're going to try to rhinoceros it again, or?
Well, she was the rhinoceros, so that's not.
So that's
Okay,
not
well let's just try 420. It's been working everywhere.
The good news is all you have to do is you slam 4 and it opens right up.
Oh, dude, my people, yeah, they ran out of patience on this one.
Okay, so the 3 of you duck through back into the hallway as this now crushing ceiling of flotsam and detritus is crushing down on you.
Oh, dude,
this thing on your level, you're not sure what it is, but it looks like an entire generation's worth of crab dinners has just stepped through as a single humanoid figure, and with a single giant claw reaches out towards your shoulder. What do you do?
No, we're fine. We're okay. Oh, me neither, bro.
All right, so this crab monster is trying to grab you. If you want to, well, how do you want to get away from it?
I'm going to try to squirrel my way through the door.
So you're going to try and get around it?
Yes, and I have my rhinoceros sword.
Perfect. Okay, so largely because your character is small and wily and is a really good screamer, you're able to dodge around this thing. So you're behind this, what looks to be, now that you get a slightly better look at it, this 7-foot-tall conglomeration of every bristly red crustacean part you can imagine is now just hulking what was towards you for a moment, but now you've slipped around the back of it. The door's right there behind you. What do you want to do?
They're Red Lobster.
We need to cook this thing!
Oh, dude, I think she found the PF Chang's.
And you've got a flamethrower. You can cook anything.
Do it! Sight!
Can you guys catch me if I jump?
We're not in the room, bro. But we could try.
Somehow we're communicating through the floor.
Do we have a communication system for our suits?
Oh, okay.
I set the gun to low.
Low.
To low.
Okay, so your shocker, your two-fisted shocker gun.
No. The gun she gave me.
That pierces through everything.
I upgraded.
The 37-year-old gun. The one that shoots through holes. There's no low on a 37-year-old gun.
Is the doorway completely blocked by debris at this point, or can we still get through?
So you can hit that panel and it opens back up and you can see that it's largely settled. So it's a sort of a junkyard down there now, but you can move back.
All right, cool. 4. We're coming, Captain. Save some of that PF Chang's for us, dude.
So you've got this gun though, and you're like low. It has high, and then it has murder.
How do you practice with this thing?
It's you just shoot it.
It's like murder and mass murder. It's like what a 2-click dial.
Just tell me where you're aiming at now.
But you definitely got it.
I got this.
Okay. So everything's settled. We can get through the door now.
Yeah, dude, we gotta rescue a captain from mediocre Chinese food. Let's do this.
Go through the door and look up to where the captain's at.
Okay, all you can really make out is a vague silhouette up there, in some movement, some scuffling. It's still pretty dark. You can see the lights on the captain's eyes. The eyes of the captain's suit are flashing around sort of wildly, but that's about all you can make out.
So we can't really tell there's two people up there, just sort of.
Yeah, you can just tell that there's something hectic going on up there.
So I think the captain started eating without us.
Oh, that's not cool, man.
No, I don't like it.
Now that the power's on in the engineering bay, are there any lifts, electronic lifts that can be powered on to take us up there, so we don't have to like break our necks?
Yeah, absolutely.
I got an idea. Let's just take the elevator, man.
It works better for my hip.
Yeah, and I don't run that fast, so.
That's fair.
Yeah, cool. Let's do it.
All right.
Can't I just run down to meet them somehow?
What, you don't want to wait the 15 minutes for this loading elevator?
We're gonna get up there at some point, bro. No worries.
So while they're down there totally helping, what do you want to do?
I want to meet up with my crew.
Okay, so is it one of those elevators like Synclose, or is it like one of those storage elevators, platform elevators that is open as you're going up?
B.
Awesome. Let's fire this thing.
Fire this thing?
You got the fire, right?
Oh yeah. What are we firing at?
Oh, they got lobster.
Oh, do we see that it's a lobster?
Not really.
Okay, we can't shoot the captain, man. She just ate some food without us. That's harsh, bro.
Not really grounds for mutiny.
I didn't eat anything! And it's trying to kill me. It's giant and it looks like red boogers and I hate it.
Oh, the menu's gotten worse than the last time. Alright, let's just go up and see what all the hubbub's about.
Okay.
Murder.
Okay, I look around me. Do I have anything I can use to defend myself with?
Well, looking around, some of the equipment that's fallen to the ground.
What social media is
So there's what looks like a few spanners, a really serious-looking ruler, and what looks like an industrial torch.
I take the torch and the ruler.
Classic combo.
That's right, dual wield.
So you have the torch and the ruler.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
I'm still trying to make my way through the door, right? So I'm trying to pry it open with the ruler while I'm going.
I hear General Patton use the same strategy.
Same sound effect too.
Okay, so the door, have you tried hitting the panel of the door yet?
With my face. And my horn.
Oh, okay. So, this thing, 7 foot tall, increasing in size, 8 foot tall, crustacean monster, starts slowly turning, many-eyed head, many-stalked with many eyes head in your direction. In response, you slam your face against the panel. It busts open, and it's been a long day for the ship. It just sort of, with a defeated, sort of opens the door up. So you have an escape route that leads deeper into the ship here. But your focus is largely on the monster right here. But the door is open behind you. And you have look.
Crew, what is your location? I'm where I was before, and there's a clear shot of the monster now. If you could just shoot it while I'm trying to survive.
Oh, dude, I think she's being attacked by like a monster. Dude, that makes total sense now.
Yeah, it's like a crab monster and it's trying to kill me.
All right, we're gonna go into a crab battle, you guys. We gotta like get ready.
Crab battle.
Old memes. Can we see it at this point?
In about another 2 minutes, it should be in view.
All right, cool. We
just chill for like 2 minutes. We'll be there when we get there.
As we're going up, I do got the old waterlock torches. I'm gonna find a way to mechanically maneuver and jerry-rig this gun for lower pressure.
Oh, God.
Yes, I know.
Like you do.
Yes.
Yeah, you
It's,
can do
it's
that.
okay, I'm an expert.
And because of that, it's only going to take one pull.
Yay.
Don't worry, he's Swedish.
I am, that's the worst part.
Good luck.
Well, the IKEA experience about it.
Yeah, the IKEA death gun.
Dink, dink. Dink, dink. Dink, 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 dink.
After the mission, I'm totally gonna retire to this farm and marry my girlfriend.
You got it out. Can you put it down? I have never seen Jenga done with an audience before.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody clap for freaking Jenga. Jenga people, I mean, it's blocks. It doesn't get more rudimentary than blocks.
I want this in the Olympics next time.
So yeah, given the generous amount of time that you have on this lift raising up, you're able to fashion your gun into a rather stable little turret here. Could you explain to us the master's design?
Well, easy. I took the blowtorches and I was able to maneuver it so it actually shoots multiple projectiles instead of just one giant one that'll kill the entire ship. And what I'm going to do is I'll split it up, although it probably takes half power now. Damn it. I didn't think about that. But that's why I got the super glue. Super glue will dampen the field. I swear. It'll work.
Yeah, it shoots better now, that's all.
And I said one bowl for that? Okay.
Even better. I still have that cloth. I'm going to shine it up by the time we get to the top.
Nice, great. You've got plenty of time. All right, Captain, what do you want to be doing?
I repeat, what is your location, crew?
Captain, we got like a minute. Don't worry, we're getting there.
Where are you?
Oh, we're on the elevator. You should have just taken that.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking frantically for the elevator.
You can see that there's a pulley system like on the far end of on the far end of the engine core here that's, totally working like the elevators here, where it's just like stopping on every floor.
I start running towards that, fending off that crustacean, putting the ruler through its claw and everything from crushing me. I run towards it.
If you didn't have the ruler, that was gonna take a pull. But it's able to, it like tries to grab for you, and you're just totally like, ha, exactly like that. See here. And it just sort of like pauses. It's sort of confused. Yeah.
The captain thinks ahead.
And you totally barrel for the slowest moving.
Charging like a rhinoceros.
As your ancestors taught you. So before you get there, and fortunately, whatever this creature is lumbers at a rate that can only be rivaled by the slowest moving engine bay lift. So in 2.5 minutes, it is again gone from being just sort of a threat that's sort of on the horizon to like, oh no, that's sort of a concern. So it's getting close to you at that point, and that's about the point that you guys finally make it on the scene.
Hey man, we're back. Did you know you're being chased by a lobster? That's crazy. Alright, you should probably use that gun, bro.
Molten core.
Okay, so, and you fire the gun, and it does what? What does the gun do?
I don't remember.
I'm assuming shoots.
It should vaporize it.
Multiple projectile? I don't know. She handed me the gun. I jerry-rigged it.
It's all the small forks from like eating lobster. The small forks.
It should make them dinner.
All right, so your gun, designed and working as intended to shoot this dialed up murder dinner at this crustacean beast. That's going to take a poll. And I'm going to let any of you who wanted to assist in this, you can make the poll if you prefer.
You've got the flamethrower. I've got scalpels. They ain't doing much against him.
He's already shot, man. I tell you, you pull the trigger, you gotta follow through, broski.
This is why you never drink and go on alien ships.
Oh yeah, you've been drinking. Thanks for reminding me. So here's the thing.
His bald spot is red.
So that's going to make things a little more difficult. So it's going to take 2 polls to fire this thing. However, either of you guys completely prepared for this as sort of inebriated, not enabling, but you know, you've seen this before. You could be assisting him, so you don't have to make both polls. You need to make one poll, and then either you can make the second one, or one of you can make the second one.
You have surgical hands.
I'm also old and can't carry heavy things.
Oh yeah, you're old!
Pull from the tower so your hip doesn't break.
All right, I'm gonna help you out, man. I'm gonna like steady you out, you know, like keep you from wobbling too much, you know. So go try to like murder the lobster thing, bro.
So like you fight from that, I'll fight from this end.
All right, cool. Why are there 2 triggers? Pull the trigger good. Pull the other trigger. Pull the other trigger.
That's what we did in surgery.
Oh, there we go. Hey.
Okay. Who the hell claps when you're halfway through the trip?
And now, we double down.
Leave it to the stoner.
Look at all this good moving around. Oh,
no, not that one. No.
That was good.
Oh.
They move when they're excited.
I know I do. Oh, sorry. Whoops.
He's so relaxed.
The blast from this gun goes off and explodes against this crustacean creature, not so much dousing it with crab dinners, but turning it itself into one gigantic crab dinner, which shredded crab ends up covering all 4 of you, splattering the inside of the engine and the engineering.
Did it have roe? Was it like, you know, was it... Oh yeah!
It was a happy mama.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh, you didn't get through the suit.
Oh, practice.
Rhinoceros mouth.
So the monster explodes, and in so doing, coating the inside of the engineering bay, turns back on the engine, all of the panels come back on, everything ripples back to life on the ship. And all of a sudden you're able to hear over the speakers that that message that you heard before, definitely amplified and played up, and yeah, it was absolutely an advertisement for P.F. Chang's.
Yeah! We have our own floating P.F. Chang's. That's so
Stunkin.
Yeah, oh yeah, so for now, think it better.
Tune in next time.
Dorgan, you're promoted. You're a great shot.
Yeah, dude, you can do
I take shots all the time.
So a big round of applause for our players here, people.
Give it up for Les.
Woo! dining tables and around the convention for the rest of the show. So thanks so much for being here. Definitely check out Dread by Epithiah Ravachol, and you can find more about all of us in your convention book. So thank you so much for being here.